First book of Moses called Genesis, the history of creation. 1. In the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was without form and void, and darkness was on the face of deep. And the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. Then God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And God saw the light that it was good, and God divided the light from the darkness. 5. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. So the evening and the morning were the first day. 6. Then God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters." 7. Thus God made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so. 8. And God called the firmament heaven. So the evening and the morning were the second day. Then God said, "Let the waters under the heavens be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear." And it was so. 10. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters he called seas. And God saw that it was good. 11. Then God said, "Let the earth bring forth grass, the herb that yields seed, and the fruit tree that yields fruit according to its kind, whose seed is in itself on the earth." And it was so. 12. And the earth brought forth grass, the herb that yields seed according to its kind, and the tree that yields fruit, whose seed is in itself according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. 13. So the evening and the morning were the third day. 14. Then God said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heavens to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and seasons, and for days and years. 15. And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heavens to give light on the earth." And it was so. Then God made 2 great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. 17. God set them in the firmament of the heavens to give light on the earth. 18. And to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. 19. So the evening and the morning were the fourth day. 20. Then God said, "Let the waters abound with an abundance of living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth across the face of the firmament of the heavens." So God created great sea creatures and every living thing that moves, with which the waters abounded, according to their kind, and every winged bird according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. And God blessed them, saying, "Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters in the seas, and let birds multiply on the earth." 23. So the evening and the morning were the fifth day. 24. Then God said, "Let the earth bring forth a living creature according to its kind, cattle and creeping thing and beast of the earth, each according to its kind." And it was so. 25. And God made the beast of the earth according to its kind, cattle according to its kind, and everything that creeps on the earth according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. 26. Then God said, "Let us make man in our image, according to our likeness. Let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of the air, and over the cattle, over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth." So God created man in his own image. In the image of God he created him. Male and female he created them. 28. Then God blessed them, and God said to them, "Be fruitful and multiply, fill the earth and subdue it, have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the birds of air, and over every living thing that moves on the earth." 29. And God said, "See, I have given you every herb that yields seed which is on the face of all the earth, and every tree whose fruit yields seed. To you it shall be for food. Also, to every beast of the earth, to every bird of air, and to everything that creeps on the earth in which there is life, I," Genesis 1:31, 4, "have given every green herb for food." And it was so. 31. Then God saw everything that he had made, and indeed it was very good. So the evening and the morning were the sixth day. 2. Thus the heavens and the earth, and all the host of them were finished. 2. And on the seventh day God ended his work which he had done, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had done. Then God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because in it he rested from all his work which God had created and made. This is the history of the heavens and the earth when they were created, in the day that the Lord God made the earth and the heavens. 5. Before any plant of the field was in the earth, and before any herb of the field had grown. For the Lord God had not caused it to rain on the earth, and there was no man to till the ground. 6. But a mist went up from the earth, and watered the whole face of the ground. 7. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living being. Life in God's garden. The Lord God planted a garden eastward in Eden, and there he put the man whom he had formed. 9. And out of the ground the Lord God. That is pleasant to mid every tree grow food. The tree of life was also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Now a river went out of Eden to water the garden, and from there it parted and became 4 riverheads. The name of the first is Pishon. It is the one which skirts the whole land of Havilah, where there is gold. 12. And the gold of that land is good. Bdellium and the onyx stone are there. 13. The name of the second river is Gihon. It is the one which goes around the whole land of Cush. 14. The name of the third river is Hiddekel. It is the one which goes toward the east of Assyria. The fourth river is the Euphrates. Then the Lord God took the man and put him in the garden of Eden to tend and keep it. And the Lord God commanded the man, saying, Of every tree of the garden you may freely eat, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat, for in the day that you eat of it you shall surely die. And the Lord God said, It is not good that man should be alone. I will make him a helper comparable to him. 19. Out of the ground the Lord God formed every beast of the field and every bird of the air, and brought them to Adam to see what he would call them. And whatever Adam called each living creature, that was its name. 20. So Adam gave names to all cattle, to the birds of the air, and to every beast of the field. But for Adam there was not found a helper comparable to him. 21. And the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall on Adam, and he slept, and he took one of his ribs, and closed up the flesh in its place. 22. Then the rib which the Lord God had taken from man he made into a woman, and he brought her to the man. This is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man. 24. Therefore a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. 25. And they were both naked, the man and his wife, and were not ashamed. The temptation and fall of man. Cunning. 3. How the serpent was more which the Lord God had made. And he said to the woman, Has God indeed said, You shall not eat of every tree of the garden? 2. And the woman said to the serpent, We may eat the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden God has said, You shall not eat it, nor shall you touch it, lest you die. Then the serpent said to the woman, You will not surely die. For God knows that in the day you eat of it your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil. So when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree desirable to make one wise, she took of its fruit and ate. She also gave to her husband with her, and he ate. Then the eyes of both of them were opened, and they, Genesis 4:14, naked, and they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves coverings. And they heard the sound of the Lord God walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God among the trees of the garden. Then the Lord God called to Adam and said to him, Where are you? So he said, I heard your voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked and I hid myself. 11. And he said, Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree of which I commanded you that you should not eat? 12. Then the man said, The woman whom you gave to be with me, she gave me off the tree, and I ate. And the Lord God said to the woman, What is this you have done? The woman said, The serpent deceived me and late. So the Lord God said to the serpent, Because you have done this, you are cursed more than all cattle, and more than every beast of the field. On your belly you shall go, and you shall eat dust all the days of your life. 15. And I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your seed and her seed. He shall bruise your head, and you shall bruise his heel. 16. To the woman he said, I will greatly multiply your sorrow and your conception. In pain you shall bring forth children, your desire shall be for your husband, and he shall rule over you. Then to Adam he said, Because you have heeded the voice of your wife, and have eaten from the tree of which I commanded you, saying, You shall not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for your sake. In toil you shall eat of it. 18 Both thorns and thistles it shall bring forth for you, and you shall eat the herb of the field. 19 In the sweat of your face you shall eat bread till you return to the ground, for out of it you were taken, for dust you are, and to dust you shall return. 20 And Adam called his wife's name Eve, because she was the mother of all living. 21 Also for Adam and his wife the Lord God made tunics of skin, and clothed them. 22 Then the Lord God said, Behold, the man has become like one of us to know good and evil, and now lest he put out his hand and take also of the tree of life, and eat and live forever. 23 Therefore the Lord God sent him out of the Garden of Eden to till the ground from which he was taken. 24 So he drove out the man, and he placed cherubim at the east of the Garden of Eden, and a flaming sword which turned every way to guard the way to the tree of life. Cain murders Abel. Now Adam knew Eve his wife, and she conceived and bore Cain, and said, I have acquired a man from the Lord. 2 Then she bore again, this time his brother Abel. Now Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. And in the process of time it came to pass that Cain brought an offering of the fruit of the ground to the Lord. For Abel also brought of the firstborn of his flock and of their fat, and the Lord respected Abel and his offering. But he did not respect Cain and his offering. And Cain was very angry, and his countenance fell. So the Lord said to Cain, Why are you angry? And why has your countenance fallen? If you do well, will you not be accepted? And if you do not do well, sin lies at the door, and its desire is for you, but you should rule over it. Now Cain talked with Abel his brother, and it came to pass when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel his brother and killed him. Then the Lord said to Cain, Where is Abel your brother? He said, I do not know. Am I my brother's keeper? 10 And he said, What have you done? The voice of your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground. So now you are cursed from the earth, which has opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. When you till the ground, it shall no longer yield its strength to you. A fugitive and a vagabond you shall be on the earth. Cain said to the Lord, My punishment is greater than I can bear. Surely you have driven me out this day from the face of the ground. I shall be. 6 Genesis 4:15 Hidden from your face I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond on the earth, and it will happen that anyone who finds me will kill me. 15 And the Lord said to him, Therefore, whoever kills Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark on Cain, lest anyone finding him should kill him, the family of Cain. 16 Then Cain went out from the presence of the Lord, and dwelt in the land of Nod on the east of Eden. 17 And Cain knew his wife, and she conceived and bore Enoch, and he built a city, and called the name of the city after the name of his son, Enoch. 18 To Enoch was born Irad, and Irad begot Mehujael, and Mehujael begot Methushel, and Methushel begot Lamech. 19 Then Lamech took for himself 2 wives, the name of one was Adah, and the name of the second was Zillah. 20 And Adah bore Jabal. He was the father of those who dwell in tents and have livestock. 21 His brother's name was Jubal. He was the father of all those who play the harp and flute. 22 And as for Zillah, she also bore Tubal-Cain, an instructor of every craftsman in bronze and iron. And the sister of Tubal-Cain was Naamah. 10 Lamech said to his wives, Adah and Zillah, hear my voice. Wives of Lamech, listen to my speech. For I have killed a man for wounding me, even a young man for hurting me. 24 If Cain shall be avenged sevenfold, then Lamech 77-fold, a new son. 25 And Adam knew his wife again, and she bore a son and named him Seth. For God has appointed another seed for me instead of Abel, whom Cain killed. 2006 And as for Seth, to him also a son was born, and he named him Enosh. Then men began to call on the name of the Lord, the family of Adam. This is the book of the genealogy of Adam. In the day that God created man, he made him in the likeness of God. He created them male and female, and blessed them, and called them mankind in the day they were created. 3. And Adam lived 130 years, and begot a son in his own likeness after his image, and named him Seth. 4. After he begot Seth, the days of Adam were 800 years, and he had sons and daughters. 5. So all the days that Adam lived were 930 years, and he died. Seth lived 105 years, and begot Enosh. 7. After he begot Enosh, Seth lived 807 years, and had sons and daughters. So all the days of Seth were 912 years, and he died. 9. Enosh lived 90 years, and begot Canaan. 10. After he begot Canaan, Enosh lived 815 years, and had sons and daughters. So all the days of Enosh were 905 years, and he died. 12. Canaan lived 70 years, and begot Mahalalel. 13. After he begot Mahalalel, Canaan lived 840 years, and had sons and daughters. 14. So all the days of Canaan were 910 years, and he died. 15. Mahalalel lived 65 years, and begot Jared. 16. After he begot Jared, Mahalalel lived 830 years, and had sons and daughters. 17. So all the days of Mahalalel were 895 years, and he died. 18. Jared lived 162 years, and begot Enoch. 19. After he begot Enoch, Jared lived 800 years, and had sons and daughters. 20. So all the days of Jared were 962 years, and he died. 21. Enoch lived 65 years, and begot Methuselah. 22. After he begot Methuselah, Enoch walked with God 300 years, and had sons and daughters. 23. So all the days of Enoch were 365 years. 24. And Enoch walked with God, and he was not, for God took him. 25. Methuselah lived 187 years, and begot Lamech. Methuselah, after he begot Lamech, Methuselah lived 782 years, and had sons and daughters. So all the days of Methuselah were following: Genesis 7:4, 7, 969 years, and he died. 28. Lamech lived 182 years, and had a son. 29. And he called his name Noah, saying, This one will comfort us concerning our work and the toil of our hands, because of the ground which the Lord has cursed. After he begot Noah, Lamech lived 595 years, and had sons and daughters. 31. So all the days of Lamech were 777 years, and he died. 32. And Noah was 500 years old, and Noah begot Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The wickedness and judgment of man. Now it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born to them. 2. That the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were beautiful, and they took wives for themselves of all whom they chose. 3. And the Lord said, My spirit shall not strive with man forever, for he is indeed flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. 4. There were giants on the earth in those days, and also afterward, when the sons of God came in to the daughters of men, and they bore children to them. Those were the mighty men who were of old, men of renown. Then the Lord saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every intent of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. 6. And the Lord was sorry that he had made man on the earth, and he was grieved in his heart. 7. So the Lord said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, creeping thing and birds of the air, for I am sorry that I have made them. The eyes of bait. But Noah found grace in the Lord. Noah pleases God. 9. This is the genealogy of Noah. Noah was a just man, perfect in his generations. Noah walked with God. 10. And Noah begot 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The earth also was corrupt before God, and the earth was filled with violence. 12. So God looked upon the earth, and indeed it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted their way on the earth. The ark prepared. 13. And God said to Noah, The end of all flesh has come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth. Make yourself an ark of gopher wood, make rooms in the ark, and cover it inside and outside with pitch. And this is how you shall make it. The length of the ark shall be 300 cubits, its width 50 cubits, and its height 30 cubits. You shall make a window for the ark, and you shall finish it to a cubit from above, and set the door of the ark in its side. You shall make it with lower, second, and third decks. And behold, I myself am bringing floodwaters on the earth, to destroy from under heaven all flesh in which is the breath of life. Everything that is on the earth shall die. But I will establish my covenant with you, and you shall go into the ark, you, your sons, your wife, and your sons' wives with you. And of every living thing of all flesh you shall bring 2 of every sort into the ark, to keep them alive with you. They shall be male and female. Of the birds after their kind, of animals after their kind, and of every creeping thing of the earth after its kind, 2 of every kind will come to you to keep them alive. And you shall take for yourself of all food that is eaten, and you shall gather it to yourself, and it shall be food for you and for them. 22. Thus Noah did, according to all that God commanded him, so he did. The great flood. Then the Lord said to Noah, Come into the ark, you and all your household, because I have seen that you are righteous before me in this generation. You shall take with you 7 each of every clean animal, a male and his female, 2 each of animals that are unclean, a male and his female, also 7 each of birds of the air, male and female, to keep the species alive on the face of all the earth. For after 7 more days I will cause it to rain on the earth 40 days and 40 nights, and I will destroy from the face, Genesis 7:5, 8, of the earth, all living things that I have made. 5. And Noah did according to all that the Lord commanded him. 6. Noah was 600 years old when the floodwaters were on the earth. So Noah with his sons, his wife, and his sons' wives went into the ark because of the waters of the flood. 8. Of clean animals, of animals that are unclean, of birds, and of everything that creeps on the earth. 9. 2 by 2 they went into the ark to Noah, male and female, as God had commanded Noah. 10. And it came to pass after 7 days that the waters of the flood were on the earth. 11. In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, the 17th day of the month. On that day, all the fountains of the great deep were broken up, and the windows of heaven were opened. 12. And the rain was on the earth 40 days and 40 nights. 13. On the very same day Noah and Noah's sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and Noah's wife and the 3 wives of his sons with them, entered the ark. 14. They and every beast after its kind, all cattle after their kind, every creeping thing that creeps on the earth after its kind, and every bird after its kind, every bird of every sort. 15. And they went into the ark to Noah 2 by 2, of all flesh in which is the breath of life. 16. So those that entered, male and female of all flesh, went in as God had commanded him, and the Lord shut him in. Now the flood was on the earth 40 days, the waters increased and lifted up the ark, and it rose high above the earth. The waters prevailed and greatly increased on the earth, and the ark moved about on the surface of waters. 19. And the waters prevailed exceedingly on the earth, and all the high hills under the whole heaven were covered. The waters prevailed 15 cubits upward, and the mountains were covered. 21. And all flesh died that moved on the earth, birds and cattle and beasts and every creeping thing that creeps on the earth, and every man, all in whose nostrils was the breath of the Spirit of life, all that was on the dry land, died. So he destroyed all living things which were on the face off ground, both man and cattle, creeping thing and bird of the air. They were destroyed from the 7.22 Septuagint and Vulgate. Earth. Only Noah and those who were with him in the ark remained alive 24, and the waters prevailed on the earth 150 days. Noah's deliverance. Then God remembered Noah, and every living thing, and all the animals that were with him in the ark. And God made a wind to pass over the earth, and the waters subsided. 2. The fountains of the deep and the windows of heaven were also stopped, and the rain from heaven was restrained. 3. And the waters receded continually from the earth. At the end of the 150 days the waters decreased. Plus then the ark rested in the 7th month, the 17th day of the month, on the mountains of Ararat. 5. And the waters decreased continually until the 10th month. In the 10th month, on the 1st day of the month, the tops of the mountains were seen. So it came to pass at the end of 40 days that Noah opened the window of the ark which he had made. Then he sent out a raven, which kept going to and fro until the waters had dried up from the earth. He also sent out from himself a dove, to see if the waters had receded from the face of the ground. But the dove found no resting place for the sole of her foot, and she returned into the ark to him, for the waters were on the face of the whole earth. So he put out his hand and took her, and drew her into the ark to himself. 10 And he waited yet another 7 days, and again he sent the dove out from the ark. Then the dove came to him in the evening, and behold, a freshly plucked olive leaf was in her mouth, and Noah knew that the waters had receded from the earth. So he waited yet another 7 days and sent out the dove, which did not return again to him any more. And it came to pass in the 601st year, in the 1st month, the 1st day of the month, that the waters were dried up from the earth. And Noah removed the covering of the ark and looked, and indeed the surface of the ground was dry. 14 And in the 2nd month, on the 27th day of the month, the earth was dried. 15 Then God spoke to Noah, saying, Go out of the ark, you and your wife. 9 Genesis 9:25 And your sons and your sons' wives with you. Bring out with you every living thing of all flesh that is with you, birds and cattle and every creeping thing that creeps on the earth, so that they may abound on the earth, and be fruitful and multiply on the earth. So Noah went out, and his sons and his wife and his sons' wives with him. 19 Every animal, every creeping thing, every bird and whatever creeps on the earth according to their families, went out of the ark. God's covenant with creation. Then Noah built an altar to the Lord, and took of every clean animal and of every clean bird, and offered burnt offerings on the altar. And the Lord smelled a soothing aroma. Then the Lord said in his heart, I will never again curse the ground for man's sake, although the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth, nor will I again destroy every living thing as I have done. 22 While the earth remains, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, winter and summer, and day and night shall not cease. God's promise to Noah. So God blessed Noah and his sons, multiply and fill the earth. And the fear of you and the dread of you shall be on every beast of the earth, on every bird of the air, on all that move on the earth, and on all the fish of sea. They are given into your hand. B. Every moving thing that lives shall food for you. I have given you all things, even as the green herbs, with its. 4. But you shall not eat flesh life, that is, its blood. Will D. Surely for your lifeblood I mand a reckoning. From the hand of every beast I will require it, and from the hand of man. From the hand of every man's brother I will require the life of man. Whoever sheds man's blood, by man his blood shall be shed, for in the image of God he made man. And as for you, be fruitful and multiply, bring forth abundantly in the earth and multiply in it. Then God spoke to Noah and to his sons with him, saying, And as for me, behold, I establish my covenant with you and with your descendants after you, and with every living creature that is with you, the birds, the cattle, and every beast of the earth with you, of all that go out of the ark, every beast of the earth. Thus I establish my covenant with you. Never again shall all flesh be cut off by the waters of the flood. Never again shall there be a flood to destroy the earth. 12 And God said, This is the sign of the covenant which I make between me and you, and every living creature that is with you for perpetual generations. I set my rainbow in the cloud, and it shall be for the sign of the covenant between me and the earth. It shall be when I bring a cloud over the earth, that the rainbow shall be seen in the cloud. 15 And I will remember my covenant which is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh. The waters shall never again become a flood to destroy all flesh. The rainbow shall be in the cloud, and I will look on it to remember the everlasting covenant between God and every living creature of all flesh that is on the earth. 17 And God said to Noah, This is the sign of the covenant which I have established between me and all flesh that is on the earth. Noah and his sons. 18 Now the sons of Noah who went out of the ark were Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and Ham was the father of Canaan. 19 These three were the sons of Noah, and from these the whole earth was populated. 20 And Noah began to be a farmer, and he planted a vineyard. 21 Then he drank of the wine and was drunk, and became uncovered in his tent. 22 And Ham the father of Canaan saw the nakedness of his father, and told his 2 brothers outside. But Shem and Japheth took a garment, laid it on both their shoulders, and went backward and covered the nakedness of their father. Their faces were turned away, and they did not see their father's nakedness. 24 So Noah awoke from his wine, and knew what his younger son had done to him. 25 Then he said, Genesis 9:26. 10 Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants he shall be to his brethren. 26 And he said, Blessed be the Lord, the God of Shem, and may Canaan be his servant. May God enlarge Japheth, and may he dwell in the tents of Shem, and may Canaan be his servant. 28 And Noah lived after the flood 350 years. 29 So all the days of Noah were 950 years, and he died. Nations descended from Noah. Tisisthej Ham Angino. This is the genealogy of the Pheth, and sons were born to them after the flood. 2 The sons of Japheth were Gomer, Magog, Madai, Javan, Tubal, Meshech, and Tiras. 3 The sons of Gomer were Ashkenaz, Riphath, and Togarmah. 4 The sons of Javan were Elisha, Tarshish, Kittim, and Dodanim. 5 From these the coastland peoples of the Gentiles were separated into their lands, everyone according to his language, according to their families, into their nations. 6 The sons of Ham were Cush, Mizraim, Put, and Canaan. 7 The sons of Cush were Seba, Havilah, Sabta, Ramah, and Sabteka. And the sons of Ramah were Sheba and Dedan. 8 Cush begot Nimrod. He began to be a mighty one on the earth. 9 He was a mighty hunter before the Lord, therefore it is said, like Nimrod the mighty hunter before the Lord. 10 In the beginning of his kingdom was Babel, Eresh, Akkad, and Calneh in the land of Shinar. 11 From that land he went to Assyria and built Nineveh, Rehoboth-ir Calah. 12 And Rezin between Nineveh and Seilah, that is the principal city. Mizraim begot Ludim, Anamim, Lehabim, Naphtuim. 14 Pathrusim and Casluhim, from whom came the Philistines and Caphtorim. 15 Canaan begot Sidon, his firstborn, and Heth. 16 The Jebusite, the Amorite, and the Girgashite. 17 The Hivite, the Archite, and the Sinite. 18 The Arvadite, the Zemarite, and the Hamathite. Afterward the families of the Canaanites were dispersed. 19 And the border of the Canaanites was from Sidon, as you go toward Gerar as far as Gaza, then as you go toward Sodom, Gomorrah, Admah, and Zebolim, as far as Lasha. These were the sons of Ham, according to their families, according to their languages, in their lands and in their nations. 21 And children were born also to Shem, the father of all the children of Eber, the brother of Japheth the elder. 22 The sons of Shem were Elam, Ashur, Arphaxad, Lud, and Aram. 23 The sons of Aram were Uz, Hul, Gether, and Mash. 24 Arphaxad begot Salah, and Salah begot Eber. 25 To Eber were born 2 sons. The name of one was Peleg, for in his days the earth was divided, and his brother's name was Yoktan. 26 Yoktan begot Almodad, Sheleph, Hazar-Maveth, Jerah. 27 Hadoram, Uzal, Diklah. 28 Obal, Abimael, Sheba. 29 Ophir, Havilah, and Jobab. All these were the sons of Yoktan. 30 And their dwelling place was from Mesha as you go toward Sephir, the mountain of the east. 31 These were the sons of Shem according to their families, according to their languages in their lands, according to their nations. 32 These were the families of the sons of Noah, according to their generations, in their nations, and from these the nations were divided on the earth after the flood. The Tower of Babel. 2:11 Now the whole earth had one language and one speech, and it came to pass as they journeyed from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. 3 Then they said to one another, Come, let us make bricks and bake them thoroughly. They had brick for stone, and they had asphalt for mortar. 4 And they said, Come, let us build ourselves a city, and a tower whose top is in the heavens. Let us make a name for ourselves, lest we be scattered abroad over the face of the whole earth. 5 But the Lord came down to see the Genesis 12:7, 11 city and the tower which the sons of men had built. And the Lord said, Indeed, the people are one and they all have one language, and this is what they begin to do. Now nothing that they propose to do will be withheld from them. Come, let us go down and there confuse their language, that they may not understand one another's speech. So the Lord scattered them abroad from there over the face of all the earth, and they ceased building the city. 9 Therefore its name is called Babel, because there the Lord confused the language of all the earth, and from there the Lord scattered them abroad over the face of all the earth. Shem's descendants. This is the genealogy of Shem. Shem was 100 years old, and begot Arphaxad 2 years after the flood. After he begot Arphaxad, Shem lived 500 years, and begot sons and daughters. 12 Arphaxad lived 35 years and begot Salah. 13 After he begot Salah, Arphaxad lived 403 years and begot sons and daughters. 14 Salah lived 30 years and begot Eber. 15 After he begot Eber, Salah lived 403 years and begot sons and daughters. 16 Eber lived 34 years and begot Peleg. 17 After he begot Peleg, Eber lived 430 years and begot sons and daughters. 18 Peleg lived 30 years and begot Reu. 19 After he begot Reu, Peleg lived 209 years and begot sons and daughters. 20 Reu lived 32 years and begot Serug. 21 After he begot Serug, Reu lived 207 years and begot sons and daughters. 22 Serug lived 30 years and begot Nahor. 23 After he begot Nahor, Serug lived 200 years and begot sons and daughters. 24 Nahor lived 29 years and begot Terah. 25 After he begot Terah, Nahor lived 119 years and begot sons and daughters. 26 Now Terah lived 70 years and begot Abram, Nahor, and Haran, Terah's descendants. 27 This is the genealogy of Terah. Terah begot Abram, Nahor, and Haran. Haran begot Lot. 28 And Haran died before his father Terah in his native land, in Ur of the Chaldeans. 29 Then Abram and Nahor took wives. The name of Abram's wife was Sarai, and the name of Nahor's wife Milcah, the daughter of Haran, the father of Milcah and the father of Iscah. 30 But Sarai was barren, she had no child. 31 And Terah took his son Abram and his grandson Lot the son of Haran, and his daughter-in-law Sarai, his son Abram's wife. And they went out with them from Ur of the Chaldeans to go to the land of Canaan, and they came to Haran and dwelt there. 32 So the days of Terah were 205 years, and Terah died in Haran. Promises to Abram. 12 Now the Lord had said to Abram, Get out of your country, from your family father's house, and from to a land that I will show you. 2 I will make you a great nation. I will bless you and make your name great, and you shall be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and I will curse him who curses you, and in you all the families of the earth shall be blessed. So Abram departed as the Lord had spoken to him, and Lot went with him. And Abram was 75 years old when he departed from Haran. 5 Then Abram took Sarai his wife and Lot his brother's son, and all their possessions that they had gathered, and the people whom they had acquired in Haran. And they departed to go to the land of Canaan. So they came to the land of Canaan. Abram passed through the land to the place of Shechem, as far as the terebinth tree of Moreh, and the Canaanites were then in the land. Then the Lord appeared to Abram and said, To your descendants I will give this land. And there he built an altar to the Lord, who had appeared to him.